Which is better, Alien or Aliens? You can't say they're different, so you've got to pick one.
For me, Aliens.
Really? What, for me, Alien.
Well, I saw Aliens was I just got out of film school, and I remember seeing it and remember telling the guy I worked for what a great, incredible movie it was, and it really got my adrenaline going. And he said, "No, it's not very good. It's terrible. These Marines, that's not how real military people would act."
When faced with xenomorphs on a different planet. Yeah, I get that. Because the world has so much experience about how it would really happen.
Yeah. So I to be honest, I think it's probably influenced me more. Alien has influenced a lot of people I know, other filmmakers, who are always trying to recreate that walking down the corridor scene, Yeah. But for me, Aliens, it's probably influenced me more than anything, film-wise. So I guess, that thing is a work of art, and it's a harder thing to take a sequel and make it as good as the original, but in a different way. So I think that's a harder task, and he made it his own film. I don't think many people have done that. So yeah.
No, I think if you're doing a list of sequels that are as good as, or some say better than the original one, obviously Aliens pops up on that list quite a bit. The Godfather 2 pops up on it quite a bit, but it's a pretty short list.
Well, I it's funny now that I'm thinking about both films. I both filmmakers I owe a debt to. I once got on the film with James Cameron by accident.
As you do.
As you do. Calling around Hollywood, was trying to look for somebody else, and called up his company and said, "Do you know where blah, blah, blah is?" And I spoke to him, and he was such a sweetheart and such a nice human. And that really impressed me because, you hear the stories, but the guy was more than pleasant. And, secondarily, Ridley Scott somehow may have, when the house burned down, may have assisted in me getting a replacement camera, my red cinema camera after the fires in Malibu. It kind of helped put a word in somewhere. So I owe both of them a massive debt, and in different ways.
I think film fans like me also owe both those guys a huge debt for the films they've done. I love both films, but you often see people go, "This one's better than that one," and they're very different. But I think if I was forced to choose, I've rewatched Alien probably more times than Aliens. Obviously, it came out a bunch of years before Aliens did, so it had a bit of a head start. But you watch Aliens, or I watch Aliens, and it's still a great film, but it looks like it was an 80s budget action movie type thing. You watch Alien and you go, "That's still a perfect looking film." And unless you knew when that was filmed, I don't think you'd be able to go, "Oh, clearly it looks like a 70s film." Whereas I think with Aliens, you can look at it and go, "Yeah, it looks 80s."
Yeah, they with Aliens, they chose some very special lenses, which were different from Alien. They used I believe they're K35 Canon lenses, which the equivalent of those lenses is, if you go into an old vintage camera shop, any FD camera lens made by Canon, FD means the mount, any basic old Canon lens, that's not a zoom, will pretty much match what they used. And it's Zack Snyder has been using those same lenses, I think, on the Army of the Dead, or the what's the zombie film in Las Vegas? That.
Yeah, but that is Army of the Dead.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So he's been using those lenses to death, and maybe I'm not saying overusing them, but he's been using them to the extreme level of open the RS wide up and extreme focus and all that. So those lenses are kind of legendary, and the two films are completely different in look. But here's the thing: when I saw the Alien and I saw that extra scene with the captain being incinerated because he's been infected by an alien, that actually almost pushed me to tears. And I get why they cut it out of the movie, but they really shouldn't have cut it out of the movie, in my opinion. The emotional intensity and the character intensity it really shows you what's at stake. And, you know, I get it for running times of cinema and everything, but that's the one scene I wish they'd left in the film, in the original Alien. I think that would have, you know, personally, it would have been like the greatest thing on, you know, it was an incredible moment.